Hello, and welcome to another episode of You First. That's right. It's all about you, and you. I am Shawana Kennedy, your host, and I'm excited. I am hippopotamus happy because in Self First, in You First, this is a safe place for people just like you, just like me, where we get to come together and have some heart to heart, sometimes hard conversations about you understanding the importance of making yourself a priority. It is not about a fad. It's not about a trend. This is something that should be a lifestyle. And so oftentimes God he leans us into people who they have a phenomenal you first story. And that brings me to even my guest today. When I think about personal development, empowerment, and all of those things, this lady has an extensive resume as it pertains to, of course, she is someone who is a lover of God. So that's right, people of faith. Go ahead, tag somebody, go ahead and bring somebody in, share this with someone because you want to hear this conversation that I'm going to get to have today with minister, pastor, and she's been in multiple roles. This young lady is a minister of God. She actually can sing a little bit of too. She also is a author. She is a leader. She is a woman of God. She is a keynote speaker. I am so happy to have on this platform today, if you help me welcome Miss Deanna Humphrey.
Yes. Hello. How are you?
I'm excited. I know, and when we think about it, so this is for our hometown folks,
right.
Deanna, like myself, we both from Ohio, Ohio. Yeah, having ties and roots to the state of Ohio, and our family, friends, a lot of people we love are actually still there. And I'm excited to go a little bit north. Yeah, go a little bit north. Look, we go a little bit north because now we're both down south.
Right.
I'm excited about that to know. And I'm going to just jump right in when I think about you and we think about self-care and we think about making you a priority with all of the things that you do. When you think about Deanna, not the woman that leads worship, not the woman that's in Bible study, not the woman that people even depend on. What has that looked like for you in your life?
Well, you are asking a question that has taken a lifetime of ebbs and flows and failure to get to. When we grew up in the church, we're from Cleveland, and we grew up in the church, and the acronym for joy was Jesus, others, and you.
My.
Put Jesus first, then others, and yourself last. And that was how you was supposed to experience joy. And as I grew up with that model, I found out that you last does not work. That you last is not even God's will for us.
Yes.
Jesus said you love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about, if I don't know what my self-love looks like, I don't know how to love another individual. And, my neighbor is not the person that lives next door to me. My neighbor is people that I come in contact with, my community, in the marketplace and in the church, right? But if I don't have self-love and I'm not whole, then I don't have anything to give. And so most of my life I spent giving empty. If we can tell the truth, I spent giving empty. I was giving everything that I thought I had and what I thought others needed and what I thought was the right Christian thing to do, and never took time to place value in the person that God made me. As a result of that, I found myself spinning my wheels in years of low self-esteem, lack of confidence. I was good in the church arena. I could stand and sing a song. I could preach a sermon. But when I left the platform and had to come back alone, my question always was, but what about me, God?
Yeah.
What about me?
And that is the question that is often as an afterthought. Like you said, it's an afterthought when we think about the body of believers, the body of Christ. For a lot of people who are really sold out, that is oftentimes what in my experience, in my time being here and serving, those are the things that I've personally experienced myself, because it's always go, 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 go. I mean, we come from a time where you could be potentially at church 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, and it's all about that, and all that is good, because I tell anybody on anything that I do, it's never, never, and hear me clear, it is never above him, but he has given us, we are a gift. And oftentimes we forget about the gift of self that we have been given. And because we are, like you said, I love, it's a sad acronym, but however, I love that acronym, because now people need to look at the unspeakable joy in a different way, instead of the Jesus, others, and you, right? Because it's on the inside. If he abides on the inside of us, what are we doing with that gift of him then? If we're neglecting ourselves, technically, if I mean, you can help me, you can help me. Now you look, you college educated, you can help me and tell me if I'm wrong, that we forget about the gift of us.
The gift of me.
Yeah.
And there are times, let me say this. One thing about women is when we make a commitment to anything, we play in full court.
Yeah.
Right? There, you don't have to wonder if we're committed to the relationship. We're playing full out. If we're committed to Jesus, we're going full out. We're committed to the church, as in the activity of church. We're going full out, and we'll go full out at the expense of ourselves, right? And then when we realize that we have played full out, and now, Shawana, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
And where do I get my next breath from? Where do I get my wind from? Because I've played full court for so long in other people's spaces, in other people's vision, or making other people a priority, that now I'm out of wind. And the unfortunate thing is, nobody gives us permission to go back and get winded again. Because we know how to play full court, the expectation is that we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep playing in the game. We're going to keep being in the game. We're going to keep being in the game. And sometimes, out of the desire to be a pleaser, we will continue to play full court without saying, I need to take a time out.
Oh, talk about
will not take a time out, because the expectation is, I gotta do this because this is who I am. This is who they know me to be. This is what they expect. This is where they give me space, right? And so if I say, hey, I need a time out, then they're gonna start looking at me like something's wrong with me. What's wrong with my faith? What's wrong with my relationship with God? Am I not praying enough? Am I not worshiping God enough? Am I not spending enough time with God in my quiet time? Well, you ain't gave me time to spend time with God in my quiet time, because I'm playing full court for you. I'm on your team, playing full court, right? And as a result of that, we play so long. Shawana, there are so many women of a certain age who have been in the community of faith for so long, who find themselves frustrated.
Yes.
They're frustrated with church. Let's just tell the truth. We love the church. Oh God, we love the church.
Yeah.
We love the church, but people are frustrated because we have played full court and we never was able to reserve any for ourselves. You said it. We went to church 7, 8 days a week, right? 9, 10 days a week. Right. And so we never had an opportunity to come back and take a breath. And because we kept going and going and going, because this is what we thought was required, that God required, we get to a point where we realize we didn't fulfill any of our own dreams.
Yeah.
We were never able to visualize and manifest goals for ourselves. We were never really able to live balanced. And so we were never able to transfer. We found it difficult to transfer balance because we didn't have it. And so then we find ourselves frustrated, angry,
Yeah.
disappointed, overwhelmed, feeling abused, feeling abandoned, feeling left out, feeling looked over, feeling pushed aside. And sometimes we feel that way even about God. God, did you forget about me? And Shawana, those feelings that are that I have grown to say now are valid. I would never not say that a woman does not have a validity of feeling those magnitude of emotions. But what I will say is that those emotions unrealized are toxic, and the body starts to keep score.
Yeah, let's talk about that right there. When you talk about, because there's a couple of things that you said in there that was really robust. It was rich because I heard confidence. I heard people pleasing. I heard because sometimes when we think about being in those spaces, for some people, that's all that they believe that they had or that they even have right now. Let's just talk about right now.
Yes.
That's why some people do give so much that when they're away from there, they don't know what to do. They don't know even, let's just be honest, for some people, they don't even know really who they are when they stand alone, 10 toes down. What does that look like? So I want you to talk a little bit about even with God, how he would want us to be confident, not only in who he is, but who he has made us and even the people pleasing.
One thing that I realized from my own life experiences is that God has made each and every one of us fearfully and wonderfully. He did not make a mistake. But what happens is our identities sometimes get confused by the voices of others,
Mm-hmm.
especially those in authority. Sometimes it happens at a young age. Our, when we're small children, right, we're told to sit down and be quiet. Well, God gave us voice and gave us strength to vocalize the things that we're trying to say, right? And so you say sit down and be quiet. So I learned now that my voice is not valued. I learned from that maybe what I have to say doesn't matter, right? And so some children begin to shy away from using their voice and just become silent pleasers. And it is, well, I'm going to sit down and be quiet, but I got a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
For me, I got a whooping every time because I was going to open my mouth. When I tell you I got more whoopings than I think the law allowed, I wish I could have called defects back then. I got so many whoopings. And one of the things that my grandfather used to say to me before he passed away, he said, "You talk so much." But who knew that my assignment in life was for my vocal cords, right? That my life's assignment was for me to talk. And a lot of times we, as small children, we tell our children, go sit over there, right? Of course, we don't want children and grown folks conversations, but not in that, but just go sit down somewhere, right? And so we separate and isolate them. And so then they grow up under this isolation that I'm not valued and I don't matter. Right. And so as we grow up with those mindsets, it's really not what God says, but it's mindsets that have been placed upon us. It's things that have been given to us by others who were not whole and who were not healed and who were not gracious and who didn't really understand the gamut of grace. We were given things that they were given and they were passed down to us, and we continue to duplicate this behavior, and we continue to duplicate the outcome and the results, right? And so what we end up doing is, because I want to be heard, because I want to be seen, because I want to matter, then I'm going to make it where you're always happy with me. So I'm going to do everything that you want me to do and not even figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do. And every one of us, Shawana, was born to solve a problem, right? Every one of us is a God-given solution.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us, high five yourself and say, I am somebody's solution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is the development of who you are that will identify your solution. You've got to do the work. You have to start to do your personal growth and your personal investigation. You got to do your personal internal interrogation in order to find and identify who it is that God made me to be. Why? Because we are labeled. It's easy for us to live under the labels that have been placed on us by others. Let's go with clothing. We wear now, what is it? Dolce and Gabbana. We back in my day, we used to wear Gloria Vanderbilt. That was the label that was attached to my blue jeans. We used to wear Jordache. I'm aging myself. That was the label attached to my blue jeans. And it's the same thing that happens with us in life. We put on other people's labels and we begin to wear those labels as if we're proud of these labels. I was proud of them Gloria Vanderbilt jeans because it made it appear as though I was somebody. I was proud of those Jordache jeans because it made it appear as though I had it going on. I put on labels and we wear the labels of other people that they place on us, and we feel like it is our obligation to wear their labels well, never being able to identify or create my own label, never being able to create our own labels and wear our own labels well. And as a result of that, I created this t-shirt line. It says, I am my own yes. And the reason why this line was so important to me is because after spending 50 plus years following the labels and living out the labels of others and what I thought I was supposed to be for other people and who they said I was supposed to be and what they said I was supposed to be and how they said I was supposed to do it, how they said I was supposed to be it, what they said I was supposed to look like. I began to hyperventilate and again, back to playing full out. I lost wind and I had to sit with myself. And as I began to sit with myself and develop my own self personally, I realized I'm my own yes. Yeah. I don't need anybody's permission to tell me that I can be great. I don't need anyone else's permission to tell me that I am a priority. I don't need anyone else's permission to tell me that I have a right to stand in my space. I stand 10 toes down on a space that I created. You can stand 10 toes down on a space that you create and be proud of your space.
Yeah, I love that because so many other people and having this self-conversation, right? Having the you first conversation, it's being able to share that because somebody not that they need permission, but sometimes they need to hear us, people who have gone through some things and have pushed through this thing. And that's why it's the personal relationship, not only with, with your creator, but it's with yourself. It's to thine own self. What is it? William Shakespeare, to thine own self be true.
Thine own self be true.
Thine own self be true. And we have to be true to who we are, not just whose we are, but who we are and what we have been purposed and called to do.
That is correct.
Because if we don't stop, like you said, we will be constantly operating under somebody else's label, under somebody else's thought of who we are or who they believe that we should be. Because let's just tell the truth today, because some people prefer us that way because it's benefiting them.
It benefits them. And you know what?
Them.
Take a deep breath. Yeah. It's okay that the laundry isn't washed.
Right.
It's okay that the clothes are not folded.
Yeah.
It's okay that they're running out of the basket and they're not put in the drawers and hung up in the closet. It's okay that the dishes are not washed right now, this minute. Take a deep breath and just sit in the beauty of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is, and I hope that you who are looking, that you're getting what you need and you understand that I do it as a public service announcement. Stop telling everybody when you have made the decision, when you have made the choice to make your priority. When you have made the decision, you do not have to call a meeting. You don't have to let anyone. You have to honor you, because it is about you. So even in having that even having that self conversation with yourself, because we all have to constantly, because it's constant. It's not just I did it on Monday and I stop on Tuesday. That's why I said it has to be about a lifestyle, making you a priority, because your life depends on it. The things that you're the leader, you're the boss, right? Whether you're assisting someone, you need you. You
You,
need you.
you need you. And so
You
let me tell you, because I know that I always walk away a lot of times. I hear people saying things and I say, well, how do you do that? Right? How do, this is for the woman that says, but how do I make me a priority?
yeah.
I would say first that you just sit in the space, and if you have to say it out loud, I value me in this moment. Next thing I would say is look in the mirror and say, I matter. Create your affirmations, whatever they are to you. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am worth it. I am fabulous. I am a winner. I am a go-getter. I am a goal setter. I am a finisher. I am magnificent. Whatever it is, whatever you say to God about how wonderful He is, He gives you permission to say that back to you about how wonderful you are. Take some time to reset. What does reset mean, Reb? It means that I step away from everything that I used to make important, that I used to make a priority, and I step away. If it's shopping therapy, do that. If it's going to get your nails and feet done, reset there. If you have the opportunity to take a couple of days and go lay in a hotel and do absolutely nothing, do that. I do that. If you can go get to the beach, get to the beach. If you love the mountains, take a weekend and go do a girlfriend's trip in the mountains. But I want to say to you that you are no good for anyone until you learn how to be good for you. You need you first. And when you have been a blessing to yourself, then are you able to be a blessing to others. The very thing that you think is so important that you have to give away, give it away. But give it away to you first. And you become the first receiver of what you have to give. And when you can appreciate what you have to give, it is guaranteed that those that you give it to, those that you give you to, will appreciate it too. Now, that means sometimes we will be realigning some people in our lives, because we will realize that we have been giving to others that was not able to reciprocate the value of me back to me, right? And that means that we are out of alignment in certain relationships. And so I say to you that as you are realigning with yourself, don't be afraid to reassign others in your life. No one should be on the throne of your life except God. after God, it's okay for you.
I love that. If you are just tuning in, we want to thank you for catching this episode of You First.
Yes.
I am your host, Shawana Kennedy, and today I am joined by the lovely Miss Deanna Humphrey. And you know, we've been able to peel back some layers when we think about people of faith and what that looks like when you talk about making yourself a priority. And I need you to just lean in because we're going to share more and talk more about what it looks like when someone even close to you has transitioned, has passed on, and what that looks like for the new normal of you making yourself a priority and things you can do that can help you as you can prepare for what is to come for you. Have someone share this information and join the and or even on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys, me and myself, and look, Dr. Reverend Deanna Humphrey, wanted to thank you for joining us for
Yes.
You First.
You First.
This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.